Beneath the quiet hills of Pennsylvania, something still burns. An invisible fire, a mistake that became a tragedy. This is the story of a town erased not by war, not by time, but by fire. A fire that still smolders today over 60 years later. This is Centralia. In the early 20th century, Centralia, Pennsylvania was like many small towns in America. Tucked away in Columbia County, it was a tight-knit community, churches, schools, families, parades. But what truly kept Centralia alive was coal. Not just any coal, anthracite coal prized for its heat and density. The ground beneath the town was rich with it. Mining was dangerous. The coal seams were deep, unstable, prone to collapse and gas leaks. But for generations it was a way of life. By the 1950s, though, things had changed. The big mining companies pulled out. Mines closed, people moved on. But Centralia endured until 1962. It started with a landfill. In May of 1962, the town council needed to clean up an illegal dump in an abandoned mining pit just outside town. Burning trash was standard practice back then, so they set it on fire. They thought they had extinguished it. They were wrong. What no one realized was that just beneath that landfill was an opening, a long abandoned mine shaft, and deeper still, vast networks of coal. The fire didn't die, it moved underground, and it found fuel. The coal ignited, slowly, quietly. At first, no one noticed. The ground seemed warm. Odd smells lingered. Then, cracks appeared. Smoke began to rise from the earth. By 1969, it was clear this fire was not going out. Engineers tried everything. They dug trenches, poured wet sand and clay, flushed it with water. Nothing worked. The fire simply moved deeper and spread. By the late 1970s, people began reporting health problems. Carbon monoxide levels rose. Basements filled with toxic fumes. But the true horror came in 1981. On Valentine's Day, 1981, 12-year-old Todd Domboski was playing in his backyard. Without warning, the ground opened beneath him. A sinkhole, 4 feet wide, 150 feet deep. It belched steam and carbon monoxide. Todd clung to a tree root. He survived, barely. That moment changed everything. The government could no longer ignore the disaster. A federal investigation followed, and finally a decision was made. Centralia had to be abandoned. In 1984, Congress allocated over $40 million to buy out residents. Homes were demolished, streets were closed. Some resisted. Some said the fire was overblown, that the government wanted the mineral rights. But the majority left. By the 1990s, Centralia was a ghost town, churches torn down, homes reduced to empty lots, mail delivery ended, zip code 17927 was officially revoked. In 2002, the state invoked eminent domain, seizing remaining properties. Only a handful of people stayed. As of today, fewer than 5 residents remain. Drive through Centralia today and you'll see nothing. The streets are still there, overgrown, cracked, leading nowhere. Occasionally you'll spot a rusted stop sign or a stretch of curb, but the houses are gone. Smoke still seeps through fissures in the ground. In winter, heat melts the snow in eerie patterns. There are no birds, no traffic, only silence. And below, That, silence, fire. For years, one of the only draws to Centralia was the so-called Graffiti Highway, a stretch of Route 61 covered in spray paint and messages left by visitors. It was surreal, colourful chaos in a dead town. In 2020, the highway was finally covered over by its private owners. Another piece of Centralia erased, but the legend remains. Centralia became a symbol of human error, environmental disaster, and resilience. It inspired books, documentaries, and even fiction. Most famously, it served as the real-life inspiration for the video game and film Silent Hill. They say the fire beneath Centralia could burn for another 250 years, long after the last building crumbles, long after the last person leaves, long after we've forgotten its name. But listen closely, and you'll still hear it. Beneath the ground, the town still burns.